morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm MaryAnne, and you're watching MaryAnne's Mystic Mansion. Welcome, Scorpio, to your daily sun sign love connection reading. You are the featured sign for today, and we are on the second half of the month readings. And so what I'm going to do right in front of you, as I always do in, true form, is pick your highlighted connection. And this is done with Spirit's assistance, of course, and it's just impromptu because that makes it really fresh and real, and I haven't had a chance to memorize or think too much about what I would say. I kind of like it that way, although sometimes it is what it is. I'm having a problem holding the dice. This is interesting. So for you today, Scorpio, beautiful, watery, mysterious, very strong, very willful, set, committed, loyal, intense, intelligent, very intelligent, very in tune sign of Scorpio. Your highlighted connection for today, July 23rd, full moon in Aquarius. That'll happen Pacific Standard Time around 8:30ish this evening. Very much feeling the effects now, and it'll go into tomorrow. So some places it's considered the 24th. It's happening tonight, so we'll speak a little more about that. Your highlighted sign for today is going to be Gemini. It's interesting because I've definitely gotten this for you a few times this year. It speaks to me a lot, and to me it also tells me that, well, first of all, Gemini is a air sign. So you've got the water and the air. You've got the air of the mind, right? The mind, and Gemini is all about the mind. They're ruled by Mercury, and they really had probably a little more harder time than others during the Mercury retrograde that happened during their birthday month and season of May. It stationed forward fully out of shadow July 7th, I believe. And we had the wonderful new moon eclipse on June 10th, yeah. And the messages and the information coming through, and it's all about information with Gemini, by the way. They're the communicators, they're the teachers and the educators. They want to expand their mind and grow and learn. And there's still information that's being brought out to all of us, all the signs. And for you in particular, something connected to Gemini. And I don't know how much of a percentage that is of you. I mean, a lot of you will resonate right away and some not. Or maybe you just really, really resonated with the energy of Gemini and the mind, because I know out of all the water signs, Scorpio, you definitely have a very keen understanding of the human psyche. And you are ruled by Pluto. That's a dark energy. That is one of the hardest planets. It tells us about the death and the decay and the diseases of life, and getting through the hardest times, and the phoenix that dives into the fire and burns and comes up ascended and reinvented and new and starting again, the cycles, all of these things that represent you're the 8th house, Scorpio. You represent, once again, life and death and resurrection and reincarnation and taboo kind of conversations and interest in esoteric astrology, all the things that, well, not so much taboo anymore. My gosh, it's really coming into its own, where people are understanding it's a mathematical science with this astrology and the patterns and cycles that help to guide us in our lives, to refer back to, and to understand, okay, I mean, this is from thousands of years of study, and I love it. I think it's amazing. And do I want to dedicate every moment of my life believing that, okay, because of this will happen? No, nor do you, Scorpio. You're not that way. You're not a follower, first and foremost. And I say that you're ruled by Pluto, but historically you were actually ruled by Mars. There's a lot of fire in you for a water sign. There's a lot of conviction, and strength and determination. You're a fixed sign. I mean, when you put your mind to something, Scorpio, when you have that person you're interested in, you never let go. You're kind of possessive that way. I'm not going to lie. I always say any crustacean or, symbolism of any sign, which there are, 2 right off the bat. There's Cancer and yourself. With the claws, You're going to hold on to something you want. You're not willing to let it go until you decide to let it go. And that can be great, or it can be, you know, something that teaches you through your life about your relationships, which is what we're here to do and what relationships do for us. Now remember, my love connection readings are for every type of love. So this Gemini has an influence in some way to you. And it could, once again, just be, maybe you have Gemini in your chart, a predominant amount of it. But otherwise, I love this. And I see a lot of combinations of Gemini and Scorpio. I mean, you're different, but there's an attraction. There's a definite attraction, usually a physical attraction. There's a mind attraction. I mean, there's nothing better than a good, hearty conversation where you feel like you've actually expanded your mind, and you know, you listen to another perspective or another point of view, and you debate, and certainly will, but trust me, you'll be debating with the Gemini because you know, it's just something that really feeds them. They keep that momentum going for their mind as well. But so yes, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So Mercury is mercurial, it's mind, it's business, it's, you know, communication, it's commerce, it's connection with people. And Geminis are very, very social. You can be extremely sociable, but I have found a lot of times that, you know, Scorpio, you can be perfectly content with a relationship, being at home, and that's kind of like your place to recharge and to just kind of be with yourself. And you need time with yourself a lot of times. I mean, there's a lot of times that I feel like Gemini is a great influence because you are in your mind a lot. You are so sensitive to everything, and you're very, very aware of your energies and, you know, other people's feelings. And, you know, this can be overwhelming at times. At the same time, a lot of what you feel, and you're very, very capable of great articulation and intelligence, like I said. I feel like a lot of times maybe it doesn't come out though. And you'll let it come out with Gemini. I mean, they're going to show you the way that way. Not to mention there's so much air energies that are going to happen predominantly now for a good couple hundred years. You'll know what I'm speaking of if you continue to watch astrology, and hopefully my channel. So this is really good for you because with the mind and the emotion, that's the perfect, the head and heart, right? That's what it's about. Your intensity is because you love deeply. You are real about, I mean, it's all about down to your soul, you know. That's how you feel about love. It's not a pretentious thing to you, and it's something you want to hold and keep. And I admire that. It can be beautiful, beautiful circumstances. And I think the Gemini will lighten your intensity sometimes too. So let's read the three major categories I'd like to read that kind of cover most of the questions that a lot of times people ask when I do readings. So the first is the overall energy, bringing you to the second half of the month. If you have not had a chance to watch your beginning of the month readings, please do so. I would appreciate that. And if you like this reading, and if you like or resonate with me on any level, it's a wonderful way to support me, and, you know, and to share, and you know, subscribe. Now remember, subscribe doesn't mean you're going to pay for anything, you're going to be inundated with emails, nothing of that nature. It's just a kind gesture to say, very good, I liked it, whatever, you know, it's just really nice, and I appreciate everyone that does that. But I do my readings anyway, so the first category for you, overall energy, and I just want to put out there that we just got out of Cancer season. We are definitely in Leo season right now. Leo's fire, Leo's energy, Leo's, you know, ruled by the sun, the brightest star, right? That vitality and motivation, it's affecting all of us now till August 22nd. It just went into Leo yesterday, so this is good. This is really good. It's inviting some, you know, fuel that you are really excited about using, if not just in your relationship, and also to have fun, because there's like 1 week, it's actually the 28th of July, that Pisces, your fellow water sign, has been in Jupiter, and Jupiter is a beautiful, beautiful energy. It can bring so much love, especially in Pisces. Pisces loves love, the real love, the authentic love, just love of life, love of caring and giving, and, you know, selflessness. And that's been a part of what's going on with you. So I feel like you've been having a gooder. Okay, I feel like you've been having a better time of it emotionally, and you're just feeling quite calm, not so intense. And I'm really happy for that, because we all need that. And it just takes the right amount of just being at peace and allowing this to come in. And then, of course, the energies that help to support that. And then just your will and your drive to make it happen. And so that's happening. Let's see what it says. I won't digress anymore, I promise. And the first category for you overall for this wonderful highlighted connection of Scorpio and, of course, Gemini is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords. The Five is challenge, and it's getting through challenge, really. But it's the air sign. It's the Gemini. It's conversations. It's confliction of interests and, communication. Sometimes from other people, you're like, yeah, I'm not really buying that. I'm not interested in, investing in what you're saying right now. I'm going to stick to my swords, my truth, my beliefs. And that's pretty much sounds like you anyway, right, Scorpio? You're not easily persuaded. You're not interested in gossip and hearsay. That's of no interest to you whatsoever. And this is how you're beginning the remainder of the month, as this full moon in Aquarius, air sign, might bring in little types of intrigue, the full moon lights situations up, anything that needs to be attended to and recognized and, culminated so you can move past it and move on. In the sign of Aquarius, which is, the fellow air sign to Gemini, it is about truth-seeking. It's about actually risk-taking and being a rebel. Like, I'm not being okay and content with the status quo, period. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. Uranus is about change and unpredictability and freedom and, changing the norm. Let's just put it that way. So there could be that happening in the next day or so in ways that may shock you at first, but actually are going to be very, very beneficial perhaps, or very, very enlightening and transformational in a good way for you. So yeah, the other people are like, just go away, don't bother me, basically, You're feeling strong. You're feeling like, I'm good. I feel good about my thoughts. I don't need to explain myself. Does this sound familiar? That's kind of a Scorpionic kind of an attitude, which is cool. So I like that. You're standing true to what you believe, and you're not holding on or being around stuff that's just not for your highest good when it comes to conversation or, news, things of that nature. It's good to tune out as much of that as possible. I know I certainly have. I like to know about life and, world events, but there are just times that it's just too much. So that's what I get from that right off the bat. The second category is for the two of you, the overall energy. I just did that. The possible blessings or obstacles. And when you decide, okay, this is me, I'm going to stand strong, I'm going to be true, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be forthright and speak my mind as you normally do and feel good about it. You have the star. Because really what's really important to you is fulfilling your life and your life dreams. And as a fixed sign, as a Scorpio, when you have a desire, as I said, you follow it to the end. You're intelligent enough, you have all of the necessary components and tools, if you will, to make that happen. And it's about standing true and strong and not letting go until it actually transpires. And interestingly enough, this is the sign that represents, or the card that represents Aquarius. So this Aquarius moon is going to have a very, very big impact, and I want to say positive. Absolutely positive. And the recognition of as above, so below, the information is the water. I mean, it is water like yourself, but with this card being Aquarius, it's about the wealth of information and passing that on to others and sharing it. And like in masses, that's what Aquarius represents. Working in groups, working for the people, for globally, not a small, intimate kind of circle. It's more big time, okay? How can everybody get a fair shake is how I like to describe that. But yeah, just nurturing oneself, with information and being aware and educated and nurturing the ground and appreciating and, you know, just really feeling a lot of gratitude, but just holding on to that dream and making sure that you never, ever stop believing in it. And that's a blessing. The obstacle would be if you feel like it's not happening soon enough, or, you know, but there's obstacles and there's other people's opinions and things, you know, that are kind of trying to step in the way and prevent stuff. It's fully up to you whether you allow that to happen. That's the thing we have control over. That's what I love. That's what I love about reading the definitions and symbolisms of the card, because we always have free will. And these are simply expressions and, you know, ways to describe energies that could very well be a part of your life or not. So the final is that of finances, the category of finances, and what's happening between the two of you, or whatever kind of influence that's happening with this highlighted Gemini. You know, Gemini is a duality sign, and they're mutable. They're very adaptable. You might meet Geminis that know a lot of people that can really help you in networking circumstances and expand your horizons and your social circle for sure. And they have a duality where they might be very, very outgoing and all at the same time very, very, you know, kind of studious and at home, which you probably would really like in a lot of ways. Just saying, put it out there. And I feel like Geminis love to work, they love to excel, they love to have success as you do. So it could be a great partnership for finances. You have the Knight of Wands, so woo, powerful, fiery energy, the passionate part of Leo coming out. And it's the beginning of the month. I can only imagine, because this is a fast moving energy. It's steadfast, it's spirited, it's motivated, it's Leo, it's Aries or Sagittarius. And I might mention that the full moon eclipse was in Sagittarius on May 26th. So then the second pair, you know, because it always, eclipses run in pairs, was, like I mentioned, the Gemini 2 weeks later. We're almost preparing for the next set of Gemini and Sagittarius eclipses happening November, December. So fired up, beautiful possibilities, you know, inspiration, shooting your arrow and making it happen. That's like a dream. You're not going to stop, you know, you're very, very energetic and you feel in the courage and the power and everything you need. So money can be very, very fruitful at this time. Ideas will continue to come in. You're not at a stopping point. It's all going forward. But I will add that it does represent to me travel and learning and truth prevailing. That also equates to this, you know, first category of the swords, because it is about truth and justice and institutions that provide that, whether it be law or law cases, you know, money, financial circumstances happening, government, that sort of thing. But I feel really, really powerful about this. There's the wand that just represents, this is my goal, my idea, my trust, and my ambition. So you're ready and fired up to just absolutely create more wealth. If it isn't money, it's in your relationships, it's in your well-being and your physical health, which means that you're taking time to have fun and enjoy yourself. And I mean, there's parties with Leo. There are tons of parties happening. So odds are good you are in connection with Leo. I just feel like that with that fiery Mars, you know, original ruling planet, I still say is your ruling planet in addition to Pluto. Beautiful, beautiful energies. Wonderful ending the month going into August. August is going to be a powerful, beautiful month too, with all sorts of possibilities and energies that will work in your favor, Scorpio. So let me finish with the rune I like to do to culminate the reading. And they've been pretty incredible. I have had some definite repeats. So let's see if we have a separate one for you today. Okay, you have, I don't know how to describe this, so I'll try to put it up. I don't know if you can see it. I have a new pair of cheaters today. My other one's broke. It's hard to describe. It looks almost like an M, but then there's another portion to it. So, and it's a beautiful amethyst rune. And runes are one of the oldest oracles of wisdom and intelligence and information. So I put the rune on the second category, which is the star, your wish, your dreams, your aspirations, you know, and your heart, you know, your true desires. And I read to you what it says, okay? So that particular moon, its name is, ooh, okay, that is number 30, Manes. And 3 is a beautiful number because what it represents is growth and, you know, production and help, and I would say, yeah, help with power in numbers kind of thing. You know, you're getting support, you're getting recognized in some way, you're getting, as I mentioned with the Gemini and that energy of social and networking and stuff, you're starting to emerge and come out. Something's being revealed within yourself. You know, maybe it's this ability to speak and be more clear about how you feel, you know, because you are one of those very intuitive and psychic signs that holds a lot in and makes you mysterious. But this is about you feeling much more confident and capable of expressing yourself somehow. Maybe with the YouTube channel. I don't know. You know, there's so many variables. Writing comes to mind. So anyway, that is the number association, I would say. And I'm going to go in here and read to you the final messages, which are pretty amazing and sometimes just so incredibly spot on to the reading I had. I hope that's the case for you. We're heading into the, here it is. I said 30. I'm so sorry. It's 20. Different cheaters not working so great. 20 is 2, and that's partnerships of all kinds. And it's power in the connection of that, you know? I mean, it's, you're not opposed to being alone a lot of times, Scorpio, and I find a lot of Scorpios are, to be honest. It's just they do well, and they seem to need that time a lot of times, but you also love deeply, and you do have great friendships that, like I said, you're an incredibly loyal friend, lover, and so forth, and they're long-term. You're not as promiscuous as people put you out to be as the sexual sign of the zodiac. Quite the opposite. But you, it is 20, so I apologize for that. Now the time frame, the word associated with this is man. So I attribute that to the masculinity energy, because we all have both, right? We have masculine and feminine energy. And this says man, and I mean right now, there's a lot of masculine energy with the Leo. Let me tell you, that's all about masculinity. Fire and passion and strength and will, you know, courage, capability, and very, very talented and creative energies that come through. So this is the time frame between April 14th and April 29th. So it's basically between Aries and Taurus. So you've got fire there with Aries and Earth, which is really cool and very, very compatible with you as a water sign, Scorpio. Now the time, let's see, the words associated with this though for you are meditation, influence, idealism, autonomy, a suffered but certain legal victory. Oh, I love that so much. I mentioned the possibility of there being something legality-wise when it comes to the swords, because a lot of times with the mind and fairness and so forth, that's a lot of the careers I have found that air signs can lean towards. Possible betrayal in love. Now, like everything, we have the ups and downs, and that is a possibility. But you're an individual, and this is a general reading, and we'd have to go further into it, of course. Something that I honestly feel before I finish this highlighted connection is that there's a fickleness with the Gemini energy, you know, and it can be confusing and it can make you feel that you're betrayed at times. I'm serious. I've had so many wonderful, beautiful Gemini friends in relationships. But think twice, okay, and recognize and have that trust, because that's not really what's going on, and it's kind of an illusion a lot of times with Gemini. They're very, very faithful too. They just like having fun, okay? So just make sure that before you feed into that kind of energy, that you're fully aware and you're not being misguided, you know, from past experiences or something of that nature, which we all we can do that, right? And I know you're very, very concerned about loyalty. That means a great deal to you, and you don't want to be treated disloyal, and it's hard for you to forget when you have. I mean, all of us have had that happen, but that means a lot to you. So just bear that in mind, okay? If it's in fact having anything to do with Gemini energy, or any energy for that matter. So let's move on to another aspect. And this is the oracle messages for every single Scorpio in all of your relationships for the end of the month. And moving forward too, because there's no linear time. You know, anytime you read these messages, they have an importance for you, okay? And only you know exactly to what extent that is. So this is the beautiful Wisdom of the Hidden Realm Oracle, which is by Call Up Baron Reed. And your specific message for today, Scorpio, for you and all of your wonderful connections, is the eyes of beauty, positive expectations, and clarity. Well, you're going to get clarity with this Aquarius new full moon, excuse me. And that's for sure, okay? Because that's just what it's about. And it might be surprising, but at the same time, for you as a very intuitive sign, and yeah, I don't think it is. I think you already know exactly what's coming up. It's number 25. I'm not mistaking it this time. And that's a 7. So that can be very, very lucky. It can also be moving past and through your worries and concerns, so that you can set them aside and start fresh, right? Every culmination of a full moon brings the beginning of another situation, another start, right? And we get a chance every month. So look at the beautiful picture, though, depiction of this. I love it. Very, very wonderful, wonderfully illustrated. So let me read a little bit further about what that's saying for you, although I like what I hear already. And what it says is 25, oops, 22, 25. When the eyes of beauty show up as your ally, they require you to examine your perceptions. Do you see the world as perfect and beautiful? Can you retrace your steps from your past to now and see the perfection in the way reality has been created? Truly, perception is everything, isn't it? A glass half empty is the same as a glass half full, yet so differently according to how it's perceived. The eyes of beauty remind you that if you move forward with conviction, which you always do, Scorpio, all is well now and always will be. You will see true prosperity as a result. Expect to see beauty and you will attract your highest good. It's a big part of our expectations. I always ask and invite people to not have too much or too high expectations, therefore you are not hurt. It's kind of a Buddhist belief, and I saw their religion, you know, just capsulized, you know, when I used to go to this beautiful church that was all inclusive, and it would have these wonderful speakers and presentations. And I thought, that's for me, because the less we expect, the more beautiful and simplified things can be. But it's okay to want expectations too. Just keeping them real, keeping them grounded. And so I love that. That is a beautiful omen for me to be able to share with you. And then we're going to go on to the oracle of your animal medicine cards. And these are pretty cool. They're fairly new. I haven't used them that often, but I love them. They're big. And they say something really important, because animals are very, very wise and spirit. They have spirits like we do. They're here to teach us and show us things. So your specific message for the remainder of the month, Scorpio, is the squirrel. And I literally just got this the other day, but I had not remembered picking it, and I love it. And I think it makes a lot of sense, especially for summer, but let me read. It's still on the squirrel. Faith, generosity, and playfulness. For me to say this, I want to say playfulness is probably the key component for you right now. Sprightly squirrel tumbles in the grass, scrambles up a fence, and clambers through branches playfully with friends. The root of squirrel's frolicness nature is faith and generosity. Every year, squirrel stashes nuts for winter here and there, knowing that come winter, many of the nuts buried will be found by another. It's okay, because squirrel finds nuts left by others too. Squirrel is also friends with the trees. The unfound nuts are thus planted by squirrel, eventually growing into tree homes for their great-grandchildren. Squirrel teaches that spinning the wheel of giving and receiving allows for your light-hearted spirit to shine. Share in spreading the myriad forms of wealth and abundance is happiness. And I've known very, very many generous and caring. I mean, even in your knowledge, if you could share that and just, help people to have a different perspective, as mentioned in the Eyes of Beauty. Anything you can do in that way is absolutely helping to the consciousness of this planet and bringing the lighter energies along. Even as deep as you can be, you still have a great deal of heart and love within you to share and to help others and to be happy and to be happy yourself, first and foremost. So in ending this reading, I will be using the oracle that is the Super Attractor Manifestation deck, one of my favorites, my OG, bringing that wonderful ability you have of emotion and depth and power and strength forward into creating the life that you choose. Okay, and yes, you'll have some help with your divine, guidance and the higher powers and all of that. It's all part of the whole picture, but it is about that emotion that you push forward finally that really creates our manifestations. So as a gentle reminder and just a loving affirmation or mantra, whatever you want to call it, your message for the remainder of the month is, I release time and let the universe show me what to do. And it's such a beautiful feeling to do that sometimes. I know for a fact I can be a controlling person. I know I have a lot to do and I'm responsible for a lot. So therein comes the control. I feel like a lot of Scorpios I met are entrepreneurs. They're head of their company. That's just the kind of positions you choose to take on because you're very capable of it and you're strong and you're great at it. But when you release that and just sort of let the universe show you when you're off on vacation and you're quiet and you're still, it's such a beautiful feeling, and you get all of the information you want and the life that you want at the same time. It's from the heart, you can see that. And there's always, like I said, that divine intervention happening, as you know. So this feels really great. I hope you have a wonderful remainder of the month. And you'll come back for your August reading, which is just around the corner. And that something really beautiful and profound from this full moon comes about and helps you on your journey. Until next time, thank you so much. I appreciate you much, and take care. Bye for now.